Hey, how you doing? I'm Clint from Clint's Conscious Community C3, and this is
I'm Kobe.
what's up. We're here tonight and for another episode, and I'm going to just jump right into it. The purpose again here is you'll hear me say this often is we just want to make you what
Think.
think. That's the whole thing. We just want to make you think. And so we're going to be utilizing intelligence, science, religion, grounding, prayer, affirmations, ancient texts, breathing techniques, quantum physics, astronomy, biology, the universe and the cosmos, and any other system to awaken and increase higher consciousness to our community. That's what we're all about. So we want to unlearn, to relearn, to learn. We're going to be forgetting and remembering at the same time. We in the recovery and the discovery thing. So come on, let's get at it. So tonight, what did I say the thing we're going to call it tonight? We're going to be talking about, I got some definitions for us tonight. And we're going to just unlock those definitions. But before we get started, I got a joke for you. I got to make you laugh. I know, I'm getting all my cues saying, don't do it, but I'm going to do it. Okay, I got a couple of them. The first one says, how did the barber win the race? He knew a shortcut. Come on, it's all right. You got to loosen everything up. I got one more, then we're going to jump right into it because our first word we're going to be defining is the word conscious because that's what C3 we're all about. We're about raising our consciousness. So the second joke, before we get into tonight, it says, what does a painter do when he gets cold?
What does he do?
What does a painter do when he gets cold?
Apply more coats?
He put on that other coat. Yeah, there you go. Ah, yeah. You're thinking. That's what we just want you to what?
Think.
There you go. Okay. All right. So now, as we get into it tonight, as we get serious and get into our content, the word conscious, CONSCIOUS. The word conscious means having mental faculties not dulled by sleep, faintness, or stupor. Again, conscious, having mental faculties not dulled by sleep, faintness, or stupor. Did you get that definition for stupor?
Stupor?
Yeah.
Yep.
What does that say?
Stupor.
We're talking about conscious, okay?
Stupor, a condition of greatly dulled or completely suspended sense or sensibility.
Wow. So basically, what I think I'm getting out of conscious is in a sense you in darkness or void or you inactive in this in your mind about this thing called life. Is that about right? Is that okay? Yeah. And so conscious is then it says here it used the word awake to become or it became conscious after the anesthesia wear off. You know, like when people go and they put them under anesthesia so that they won't be conscious.
So that at that point they're unconscious, right?
So they're unconscious. So they're unconscious at the time of the surgery or the whatever's going on, whereby they need to put them under the anesthesia, put them under so that they're not conscious. They're in a stupor. They are they're dulled sleep, faintness, conscious, and that's another thing that I think that by the indoctrination,
not dulled by sleep,
so you're not asleep. You just doped up. You just
you know what's going on.
You know what? Wait a minute. You know what's going on.
Aware of what's happening.
Wait a minute. Let me read the definition. Having mental faculties not dulled by sleep, faintness, or stupor. It says awake, not aware. It's awake, and it became conscious after the anesthesia wore off. So you don't know, but you don't know that you don't know because you don't know. You're unconscious. You are not aware. We're not. That's a whole nother thing.
So you don't even know that you don't know. That's what it is.
You don't know that you don't know.
Whoa.
Now, in the biblical text,
Woo.
one of the matter of fact, the number one thing that the biblical text talks about is deception. It uses the word deceive. My people are deceived for a lack of knowledge. So you're deceived or you unconscious, to what? To a lot of different things. We're going to talk about that.
Wow.
Okay, so then we talked about conscious is also perceiving or apprehending or noticing with a degree of controlled thought or observation. I'll say that again. Conscious is also perceiving or apprehending or noticing with a degree of controlled thought or observation. What does that say to you, kind of, Kobe? Controlled thought. Because, people, I say this oftentimes too, that, there's a word when I grew up, Aaron, that when I was in class, my teachers used to drill this into me all the time. But I don't ever hardly hear this word anymore. They tell me, Clint, concentrate. Concentrate. Controlled thought. Focus. Pay attention. Think about this thing. And particularly like in our culture today, just like a lot of little boys, particularly black boys, because they don't have controlled thought, we anesthesia, we kind of dope them up so that they're now unconscious. I don't know. I'm just kind of going at it, but they're unconscious, and that's the state that we have promoted, that our society has has given us, our culture. And so but anyway, we're just making some definitions here. I got another definition for you, and I don't think maybe I might give you this one, but the second definition is awareness. Awareness is knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. Knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. So in consciousness, we there's awareness. Okay, so to become conscious, you really becoming aware of knowledge or perception of a situation or a fact about everything around you. We say God, God, universe is the creation or whatever. There's energy that moves. So whatever your belief is, but whatever it is, it created everything. This chair, this table, this iPad, this mug, you and I, we're all of God's creation. And every time that, and to be conscious and to be aware is to be aware of everything. And see, as human beings, oftentimes, because this table is wood, we don't think of it really too highly. We just wanted the purpose and the function, just be a table, be a chair, but yet it's still part of God's creation. And it's just as important as I am, me as a human being, or the dog, or the fly. How many times do we go out to lunch and we eating this nice day outside and you eating your food and all of a sudden flies come around there, and all you're concerned about is, shoot, fly, get that fly off you, right? But that's God's creation. We don't even see, we're not aware. We're not conscious of the fact of all God's creation at the same time. So that's what we're talking about, higher consciousness, just being aware. It's not a faction or a sect or a group. It's about you being more aware, consciously, control thoughts. You feeling me?
So awareness is breaking out of conditioning.
What kind of conditioning?
Like
so
like if it flies on your arm, you just automatically hit it without
thinking. Because it bothers you.
But we don't. That's right. We don't think about it. It's second nature. We've been it's like a program to do it.
We've been programmed.
It seems like you're right.
To be selfish.
To make a move without us being.
To think about it and to potentially destroy, God's creation,
Mm,
kill God's creation. Do you know there's people that go killing God's creation just for sport?
for a sport.
Hmm. Just to hang heads on the walls and all kinds of crazy stuff that or we look at animals now as the bears or the lions. You got to represent a sports team.
Mm. So we go to the zoos just to.
Ooh, them animals, God's creation, locked up
Mm,
out outside of their natural habitat. Again, the purpose is higher consciousness, just being aware, right?
yeah.
Okay. So in that, then we got another word we want to look up. So we talked about conscious, and now in consciousness we have awareness. Now in awareness, there's two things. In awareness, there's two things. One of them is perception, and the other one is perspective. So perception in awareness, watch this now, it's the ability to see, hear, observe something through the senses. Now, I did not say five senses.
Mm, mm.
And sometimes I'm going to pause because I know we're thinking. And so, again, perception is the ability to see. Now, when I was a pastor, I used to teach this all the time. I tell people, you got two sets of eyes, two sets of ears, and two mouths. One on the inside and one on the outside.
Mm.
That kind of represent the five senses, right? Your touching, your seeing, your hearing, your feeling, your tasting, right? But in the definition of perception, it says the ability to see, hear, observe something through the senses. And I'm focusing on that word senses because when you really get into other sciences, you will find out we have the ability to know that there's more senses.
We telling them that right now?
I think I got up in there. Well, help me
Oh,
out. What?
Okay. So if you didn't know already, we have more than 5 senses.
Really?
Yes.
That's all they taught us about. Or that's part of the indoctrination. That's part of how they dulled us to sleep. That's
right.
part. Okay, my bad. Okay,
That's
keep
right.
going. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
Right. Oh, that was it. We'll leave it at that for now. But just
No, go ahead. Go further, please, sir.
Some label it as extrasensory perception, seeing
Okay.
beyond what's actually there. So we can only see approximately 0.05% of the visible light spectrum. That's not even a third of a 1% of what's actually going on around us at this very moment.
So this is just being confined to this human body, this soul, this spirit, what
This
we call
avatar body,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm limited in what I can see.
You are limited in what you can see,
And limited,
feel, hear, touch, smell.
And in spite of my 5 senses, there's a whole lot going on around here that if I was able to, let's say, ascend to higher consciousness, that I could be able to relate and communicate to those other things that are going around here that science tells us that is here, but we just don't see it with our natural eye.
Correct. Your brain has filters on them so that we wouldn't become overstimulated. It would be too much going on for us to comprehend or even digest, But what happens when certain people, they take psychedelics and those sorts, it tends to temporarily disable those filters, allowing you to see past the spectrum.
But we just think people getting high and they just having all them psychedelic dreams. And you mean tell me there's some reality and some real conscious level stuff there?
This is ancient medicine.
I've even heard even our governments, around the world, they even train part of our military to ascend to higher consciousness, and they use drugs and different things in order to help people and they're very successful, and they've been doing this for a long time too.
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, that's just a little sad stuff, Okay, all right, good. Okay, so so in awareness, there's what? Perception and what? perspective.
Yes.
Right. And so so we in perception, and see, I like the word perception too, because it kind of comes from an area of, you're trying to perceive something, but you're coming from a place like within inside of you that is not, it doesn't seem to have solid matter, or I'm thinking probably your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions, somewhere in there, but it's not so much of a knowledge based type thing. Your perception, that's what we're talking about, right? Okay. And so the second one is perspective, and the definition for perspective here says it is a mental view or prospect. Now let me break that down for you. It says here, it says perspective is the capacity to view things in their true relations or relative importance. Now, again, and see, in perspective, it's not based upon their relative importance to me. Because, see, to me, this table is just a table. But in respect to this table comes from a tree. And this tree is a creation of the universe of God.
That's right. And
this tree has a relative importance outside of just being cut up and made a table.
That's right.
That's right. And see, I'm just thinking, just being aware of these things. And so now I appreciate this table so much more. It ain't just something that's in the basement and I just, when I needed it. No, I'm appreciating, I'm valuing in it. I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful. So I'm going to now give, thanks to that. I'm not worshiping it. I'm just thanking God, create, the universe for it. And so now I'm giving it its relations and relative importance. That's perspective. Did that make sense? Yeah. And so we talk about awareness. And so now you have perception and perspective in awareness, which is your conscious. Okay. And then I got one more word before we kind of really, is that it? I think, no, that's it. Yeah. Awareness is knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. I think, did we cover that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. You're right. So now we got these definitions kind of working, going. Did anything else that you want to jump on there and say, Kobe?
Not at the moment. No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We're looking good.
Good. Okay. So now, where I really want to get to now is I want to ask a couple questions, and as we move along, this is when I really would like to see comments. Because this is where, this is really good juicy at. But I got a question that says, now, from the definitions that we talked about, conscious, awareness, perception, and perspective, how aware are you of all of God's creation while you go throughout your day? Is your day just about you? And yet I love you, Lord. I worship you, Lord. And, all those type of things. But we're not even conscious of driving past a tree, the birds, the singing, That's why I like to go ground. I was doing some grounding in my backyard a little bit earlier today. And the squirrel came on over and, hey, what's up, dude? I gotta give him a name. That's the human thing. We want to give everything a name.
Oh.
What?
We're going to give everything a name.
Yeah. That's our
tendency.
That's our tendency as humans, because we think we dominate, and see, that's how, to some degree, some perspectives of religion, man is the dominating force on God's creation, and with the wrong perspective, we abuse that, because now we think we can do anything. And it's all right, and yet we're in violation of all of God's creation because we don't have the correct perspective and perception. Did that make sense? Yeah. So, so how? Tell me how is it with you throughout your day? How are you aware of God's creation, or you think you do a good job of being aware? If we just talking about being aware, I'm not saying respond. I'm just saying, are you aware? Do you even think? Think. We just want you to what? Think.
When I look in the mirror, I see God's creation every day.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, is it the mirror or is it you?
Wow. That was deep. That was deep. I like it to be me, but
But it can be you and the mirror, couldn't it? The mirror's made up of something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure it came from the substance of the earth.
And what are we? Are we
substance of the earth?
So you know what? I am that mirror.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you the oh, watch yourself, boy. Yeah. You are you, and you are the mirror.
I am the mirror.
So then I comprehend now when some people in certain religions say, I am the all, and I'm, the all is me, and as above and as below, Christ within me, Christ consciousness.
I recognize my oneness with every and all things.
You recognize your oneness.
I was thinking small, or I was thinking just like, I know we all reflections of each other, but I was thinking just us and like animals, bugs, different species, but
yeah,
recognize our oneness with everything and all things. The tree, the table, the tree. We are the tree. We are the table.
Okay. I'm beginning to see this because it kind of makes me feel bigger and broader. It kind of gives me a bigger sense of myself as I see myself in the universe or in God. Did it, oh boy, I'm a bad dude because I'm all dudes,
For real.
And see, that's another thing. I'm not in competition with myself or with any of God's creation. I respect it and I honor it, and I it to me it's all good. And from that perspective, now, see, that's a knowledge thing now. Ooh, I heard that word conviction. I want to read that definition now. No, go ahead. You got something.
If ye are in competition with another, is it true that ye are in competition with oneself?
I ain't said it. He said it. Get him. How much time we got? Where we at? 20. Okay, cool. Right on. Okay.
Kobe.
It's number 24, okay. Right? All right. Okay. Where's that word?
Conviction.
Yeah, conviction. Now get this. I'm skipping through my notes a little bit, but I kind of feel we need to get here. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna shut it down for this episode. Okay. Conviction is a belief so strong that you move your energy to experience the result of the very thought you're convicted of. Now, particularly coming from a religious background, this was very, very emphatic for me because, in spite of what I'm gonna say, I've seen people, in certain religious backgrounds, conviction was a big thing. Yet you really never saw what people were convicted of. And then most time we always seen it from the negative. I got convicted, so yeah, let me go pay my tithes and offering.
Yeah.
I'm convicted. Let me go down to the front and everybody else see me. Okay, I see in everybody. Okay, and everybody else has been seeing them too. But I got it because I'm convicted. And I've even seen a turn whereby nowadays, that conviction, like in the early days, back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the altar calls used to be full of people. People go right out the altar now. But in churches now, modern days now, the altar calls are not big no more because people are not convicted of things as much anymore. And see, the biblical text even talks about this, whereby you can get hard. You can be deceived, and you can be go back to conscious now. having your mental faculties dulled by sleep, faintness, or stupor. You can be stupor and sleep, and you can be so dull that you can get hard, whereby you don't even get convicted anymore. And then all you know is what you know, and you're not even open to anything else because you even got hard in not being convicted with truth. Or just even with just another perspective. Some people in different, beliefs, they're so entrenched in their belief that they can't even engage a conversation with just a different viewpoint.
Does belief not have the word lie in it?
Let me see. Spell it out for
BELIEVE.
Okay. Believe. He got the word lie in it. Okay. Now would you bring that up for?
It just popped up.
Ain't nothing just pop up with you, Kobe. But anyway, our time is winding down for right now. So I just want to leave us with this because we talk about higher consciousness. And again, just to go over today, conscious, and then being aware of everything as much as you can. Just being aware of everything and being grateful. And that's another thing, like in our affirmations, learn to be grateful for every single thing. And we live in a world whereby, more and more people are seemingly so ungrateful, so unappreciated, and so unthankful. And yet, no matter what you do, no matter what you give them, they just want more and more and more. Why? Because we don't practice being aware and conscious. And then we talked about perception and perspective, and then the conviction that drives it all. I'll say it. I'm gonna say this. You want to say something about?
Well, next time we're gonna add reverence into play as well.
Reverence.
That's a big one. The attitude of honoring life, summed up. Reverence is the attitude of honoring life.
I tell you what, we're gonna pick that up on our next episode.
Nice.
Okay. We're gonna pick that up on next. We're gonna go down, but we're gonna shut it down now. Listen, again, this is Clint.
Kobe.
Clint's Conscious Community, C3. We'll see you again. And again, we just want you to think.
Support system of what he's talking about, and then you have your own ideas.
Yeah, and I really like to have a little bit more of that. I keep telling you. Okay. All right. I'm gonna tell you that, boy.